It seems like there's so much going on right now. Today, the House sent the impeachment articles to the Senate. A cheating scandal in Major League Baseball cost the Boston Red Sox manager his job. Ken Jennings won the Jeopardy! Greatest of All Time tournament. And an entire town in Michigan smells like weed because so many residents are growing it. There's a lot to go over, so let's just jump in and cover it all at once. It's time for a news smash. First up, impeachment. Today, the House voted to send the impeachment articles over to the Senate. There's no doubt that President Trump is in trouble. He put himself in serious jeopardy. The tournament is so fun to watch. Ken Jennings made it look easy up there. It was almost like he was cheating. Red Sox manager Alex Cora organized a scheme to steal signs from catchers. Now he's out of a job. To cheer himself up, he might have to take a little trip to Weed Town, USA. The whole town of Bessemer, Michigan smells like weed because so many residents like to grow it. These people smoke so much weed, you bet you can never see them on Jeopardy! It was a historic, once-in-a-generation event that we all got to watch on TV, just like the impeachment. The trial starts soon, and there's new evidence that Trump's associates threatened people to get dirt on Biden. The Democrats are saying that's not okay and totally stinks. This town's changing Michigan from Great Lake State to the dank stank state. Growing that much weed is a bold move. It takes balls. The Red Sox could see them coming from a mile away since they knew the signs, but they got caught. They never should have wagered at all, and that's what Ken Jennings did, and it paid off big time. His score was so high, in fact, he might as well live in Bessemer, Michigan. So, in conclusion, good luck. Good luck. What is good luck? What is... Wait, what?
Acting.
You guys, I'm excited about this. Robert Downey Jr. is my guest tonight. He stars in the new movie Doolittle. Yep, Doolittle, which pretty much sums up last night's Democratic debate. That's right, last night was the 7th Democratic debate, and a lot of people are saying that it was pretty dull. It's odd, because I really thought 6 white people standing behind podiums on stage for 2 hours was going to be a rager. But the main reason people watched was to see Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders go at it after Bernie reportedly told her a woman couldn't win the presidency. Well, at the end of the debate, it seemed like there was still some tension there. Check out what happened when Bernie went to shake Warren's hand.
The Democratic debate in Des Moines, Iowa. This was it, the last time Americans will hear the Democratic candidates all on a stage together. 20 days. 6 candidates on stage, laser focused on policy, Iran, healthcare.
Can we see them again? Bernie looks like a Delta Gate agent who caught someone in Zone 2 trying to board in Zone 1.
There are rules. There are rules. Ma'am, I'm going to ask you.
That exchange looked pretty intense. Luckily, we were able to get the enhanced audio of what they were saying. It seems like people might be blowing this out of proportion. Check it out.
Hey, Bernie, I was wondering if you've heard Justin Bieber's new song, Yummy.
What?
It goes, you've got that yummy, yum.
No, listen. The only Bieber song I listen to is Sorry.
Yummy's better.
Your opinion, not mine. Agree to disagree. Hey, when you're talking about the 1%, are you talking about me? Fuck off.
Wow. We got that audio. My goodness.
Wow.
One of the biggest moments from last night's debate was Amy Klobuchar talking about her election record. Check it out.
My Republican opponents have gotten out of politics for good. And I think that sounds pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. It was trending on Twitter last night. Pretty good. But I noticed you can actually use pretty good to describe a lot of things. Like, for example, if you get an alert that your Grubhub order is arriving early, that's
pretty good.
If you send the wrong text but switch your phone to airplane mode just in time, that's
pretty good.
Or finally, if you happen to stop by Weed Town, USA, that's
Pretty good.
So it works in a bunch of ways. And now that the Iowa caucuses are just weeks away, voters in the state are being bombarded with campaign ads. The battle for airwaves have gotten so intense that Mike Bloomberg is now attacking the MyPillow guy. Wow. Yeah, we knew that joke wasn't going to work about 20 minutes ago, but we're still...
Tried it anyway, you know.
We still wanted to try and see if it worked. And it didn't.
It did not.
I just like saying My Pillow guy.
Come on, who doesn't?
Even though he wasn't at the debate, Mike Bloomberg's campaign tried gaining some attention by tweeting out a bunch of weird, absurd facts that have nothing to do with the election. Did anyone see this? They even posted a photo of Bloomberg's face on a meatball. Check this out. It says, "Spot the meatball that looks like Mike." So if you're keeping track, Bloomberg's appeared in 0 debates, but on 1 meatball. Well, as I mentioned, today the House finally voted to send the articles of impeachment to the Senate. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the impeachment sort of feels like Grey's Anatomy. Every time I see it, my first thought is that still on TV? That's right, Pelosi appointed 7 impeachment managers who will prosecute the case against Trump. I don't know if that was a good idea. I mean, when you pick 7, aren't you begging Trump to give them dwarf nicknames from Snow White? There's Congressman Dopey, Sleepy, Grumpy. Can we see a photo of Pelosi and the 7 managers? Yeah. I know it doesn't seem like much, but compared to last night's debate, that looks like the cast of Dolomite. And maybe Pelosi was smart to delay sending over the articles because there's new evidence in the case against Trump. It turns out that one of Rudy Giuliani's associates, Lev Parnas, actually wrote a note that said, "Get Zelensky to announce that the Biden case will be investigated." Trump was furious. He was like, "You stayed at the Ritz instead of one of my hotels?" But Trump's keeping busy. Last night he held a rally in Wisconsin where he ranted about dishwashers. Said people have to run them 10 times to get things clean. First of all, since when does Trump use a dishwasher? Everything he eats comes in a wrapper. Second, Trump said the same exact thing about toilets. He said people are flushing toilets 10 times to get them to work. I think I know what's going on here. I think Trump's washing his dishes in the toilet and he's going to the bathroom in the dishwasher. That's... During an event today, Trump welcomed several business leaders to the White House, including Ford executive Nancy Joy Falotico. Let's see how that went.
Nancy Falotico of Ford. Nancy, where are you?
Please welcome Nancy from Ford versus Ferrari. Some TV news. Jeopardy's greatest of all time tournament is over, and in the end, Ken Jennings won 3 games. James Hallhauser won 1, and Brad Rutter didn't win any. Yep, Rutter's one of the Jeopardy's all-time greats, and now everyone looks at him like, idiot. You know, guys, a lot of people follow the news by just checking out what's trending on Twitter, but sometimes seeing just a hashtag doesn't tell the whole story. So to quickly catch you up on the week, let's look at why some of these things were trending. First up, there's the hashtag incoherent disaster. You may think it's trending because Trump ranting about toilets at his rally, but incoherent disaster is actually trending because it's the best review of Cats. Next up is white noise. You may think it's trending because Amazon has a deal on white noise machines, but white noise is actually trending because it's how most people describe last night's Democratic debate. Up next is the word goat. It could be trending because Ken Jennings was named Jeopardy's greatest of all time, but goat is actually trending because the main ingredient in Arby's Meat Supreme Stack Sandwich. That's not a real sandwich. Not a real sandwich.
That's real.
I made
Joke.
Next up, there's T-Rex. It should be trending because the band T-Rex is getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But T-Rex is actually trending because Bernie Sanders talked about his first pet. And finally, there's the hashtag high class. You may think it's trending because the Queen's supportive statement about Prince Harry, but the hashtag high class is actually trending because of this moment on The Bachelor. There you go. We have a great show.
On and on and on. I said, and it's on and on and on.